Hi, my name is Katie Elliott. I am a registered dietitian and an assistant professor and program director here at St. Louis University. So when I think about shared decision making within the field of nutrition and dietetics, a couple of scenarios come to mind. When you look at someone's diet, it's something that is very personal to them. Think about your own diet habits and what you eat. You're a compilation of how you grew up, of your likes and dislikes. We have good food memories, bad food memories. We have an identity based on what we eat and how we express ourselves in our bodies. When we have patients who come to us and they are in need of a change in their diet, we use something called motivational interviewing that can really get to the heart of what those patients' values are and help the patient understand what it is that he or she is looking for. And I think the biggest challenge that I've experienced as a dietitian and that my colleagues have is sometimes we have patients or clients who aren't ready to change. They don't at face value see the importance of changing how they eat and becoming healthier. And that's where we really have to spend some time with our patients, getting to know them and deciding what those first steps are going to be. We really have a lot of different options, different ways that we can go about the change. And sometimes it's not even a change, it's just a different way of looking at it. And so I think it's really important to talk through all aspects, to really look at the financial, the emotional, the physical, even the spiritual. I mean, we have many of our diets that intersect with faith and ethical values. I'd really like for them to have that full picture of what life on a specific diet would look like. So that might involve some type of picture guide, that might involve, like for a diet per se, that might involve an example of what a trip to the grocery store might look like. I might actually take them to the grocery store and show them, let them taste these different foods that I'm encouraging them to now include in their diet. It definitely involves a lot of educational materials, both written and oral, and really understanding that health literacy component being really important to them. And there will always be bumps and challenges, and people are challenging. Working with a diet, you're relying very often on that patient to find their motivation to make these changes. As any new practitioner, you'll have to experience that for yourself. Let's say we have a patient who was just diagnosed with diabetes and heart disease. I can't just come in and say, well, now you can't eat this and you can't eat that, and you'll never have ice cream again. That would be scary, that would be impersonal, that would be, for some people, depressing. And so I have to really work with that patient or client and determine what's most important to them. Where do they want to be in 6 months or a year from now? Some other areas where a registered dietitian might engage in shared decision making with a patient and a patient's family might be at the end of a patient's life. Very often when someone is receiving artificial nutrition, like a feeding tube or being fed through their veins, it's really hard for families to feel like they are withdrawing care. And sometimes that is what the patient wanted, or it's just part of that dying process. I think a really important aspect as well is following up and evaluating your patient's progress and their comfort level. Very often you might have a patient who leaves your office and they're excited and they're ready to go to the grocery store, and they get home and their family cannot stand their new diet, or their family is not supportive. And so then we come back and reevaluate and assess and look for different options. So it's definitely not a one-time conversation. It's a continued, thoughtful reevaluation of that patient's progress.